some of the first people, Hispanics in hip hop, was down with me.
Which I know.
Okay, from Disco Wiz, Prince with a Whip, Charlie Chase, my man Lil G. You know what I mean? I've always, but they was down with me. Okay, I was the one that had the DJ equipment and stuff and this and that. When I went to Roosevelt High School, my man Disco Wiz became my partner. He used to box at the PAL downstairs. And I met him like that. And then I was like, yo, I DJ, yo, you should come check my shit out. And I taught him how to DJ and all that shit. So I'm making that point to say that Hispanics were involved in hip hop in every element in the early days, but predominantly hip hop is black culture, okay, and predominantly done by black people, and I mean black by black Negroes, whatever you want to call us, because I know Puerto Ricans is black too, and all that. You black, but you black like that.
Who are the cultivators, creators of this thing that we have all, the entire world has fallen in love with, known as hip hop? This topic is extremely hot and extremely discussed at so many diverse tables. I don't think that there is much confusion or debate about where the cradle of hip hop began, which is my hometown, the Bronx, New York. I think everyone has embraced that as truth and factual. The truth of the matter is, the Bronx is a community that's very unique in comparison to Manhattan, Harlem World, the planet of Brooklyn, Staten Island, and of course, Queens. The Bronx was one of the few communities that the Latinos and the Blacks lived side by side, went to the very same schools, broke bread together, jumped rope together, played skelsies together, red light, green light, one, two, three.
And like I said, we shared the basketball court and everything back in the day. But more Puerto Ricans was in the handball court than on the basketball court.
Oh snap!
So I mean, just to make the correlation, you know what I mean? If you put the numbers, all right, here's all the B-boys, here's all DJs, here's all the MCs, here's all the
Graffiti
Graffiti
artist.
effect.
graffiti artists, you'll see a plethora of Hispanics involved. But the majority, okay, of DJs in early hip hop was black. The majority of MCs early hip hop, black. Majority of B-boys, early hip hop. In our community, black. Okay, and if you want to talk
I
about
think
the
yeah, I
gang
think
community, then more Hispanics. Okay, with and then in every element, it's a predominantly black, pretty much culture. So I never say it was 50-50. And even by the time Fat Joe came along, I think it wasn't still 50-50, but the numbers had kind of risen to some point. And if you look at hip hop today, count every motherfucker on the planet in hip hop, it's still gonna outweigh black's gonna, you know what I
absolutely.
mean?
I specifically remember when the Young Gifted and Black t-shirts came on, so many of my Boricua playmates wore those shirts proudly and celebrated the concept of being young, gifted, and black, because we all must embrace and understand and accept it was the young, gifted, and black that cultivated, created, and brought hip hop to the world. When you think of hip hop, it is not a J-Lo face. It is not a Latino likeness that comes to mind. It is not a Latino swagger that comes to mind. It is a foundational Black American experience that is put to rhythms, that is put in bars, and that is presented to the world. There is no Latino culture intertwined in hip hop. What we do acknowledge, what we do celebrate, What we do pay homage to is those Latinos that were there in the parks, basking in this creation that their foundational Black American brothers and sisters was bringing to the world, that were brave enough to stand firm with us in those parks.
Listen, well, I'll tell you, like I said, my man caught a lot of flack for fucking with me.
No, so yeah.
I didn't catch no flack for fucking with him.
Right.
But he caught more flack than being with me than I did with being with him. You understand what I'm saying? And even like you said, I forgot up there,
Yeah.
you know, where all the good weed is at.
Yeah. I hear
Nice where the haters is at.
you. Yeah.
There was a time you couldn't go up
You
there.
couldn't go up there. I
You couldn't
told
go
him
up there.
it
If you went to
earlier.
Kennedy High School, nigga, you had to sneak
If if
back
you
out
wasn't
that
going up there
motherfucker
to
to get past
spend
the
money,
ball busters up there.
if you wasn't going up there to spend money with them, they will hurt you.
Facts. Ain't no
You
hanging
know,
around.
and you
So it was very divisive at some point. In fact, like I said, hip hop brought everybody fucking together under one umbrella, under one banner. All right. Some things that you did, okay, yeah, I fuck with that, but I ain't fucking with y'all. Hip hop made niggas go all in. Hip hop made niggas go all in. We got brothers because of hip hop. Brothers and sisters. I mean, people, we love each other because of our bond, because of hip hop.
We celebrate those brothers and sisters. We celebrate Crazy Legs for taking the baton of breakdancing and taking some ownership and teaching it to all the other men and women of the Latino heritage that wanted to be a part of it.
Because it started out that way, you know, and it is what it is. Not to say that nobody's welcome, because this is the most welcoming motherfucking culture or music genre you ever seen. How many niggas you see doing country music,
Right.
okay, or doing Spanish music?
Right. I
See,
think
everybody gravitate towards our shit, okay, but if you look, it's very disproportionate as far as how many people you see doing a shit. Okay, how many black people can even speak Spanish?
not many,
How many Spanish people can speak English?
plenty.
That right there, that's one thing that makes it easier for you to assimilate into
Yeah.
our culture
Yeah.
than it is for us to assimilate into yours.
Absolutely.
We witnessed how hip hop transformed those relationships between the foundational Black Americans and the Latino youth, how we were united in our love of hip hop. But make no mistake, no one was under the delusion that this wasn't something created by the young, gifted, and Black youth. The Latinos were active participants in hip hop's expansion across cultural barriers. Yes, they were the first group outside of foundational Black Americans that embraced hip hop. More so in New York. New York was the home. New York was the nucleus that fed all the other molecules and cells of hip hops throughout the nation and later the world. The beats, the rhythms, the cadence, the attitude, the culture itself, the stories that were being shared were all foundational Black Americans. Yes, the Caribbean brothers and sisters joined in. Yes, they did. But they were not doing hip hop. And dance hall had not exploded to the youth here in the States. Not at that time. We have to give credit where credit is due. We will not allow the credit, the creation, the genius of hip hop culture, music, language, fashion that has exploded across the world to be given to anyone but those young, gifted, and Black youth that created it. And that is the honest truth. If it wasn't for Big Pun, we would not have a Latino-oriented chant in hip-hop. Boricua, Morena, that came from Pun. And what years was that, Kingdom? What year was that? Definitely not during the foundational makings. Let's be honest. We are the creators of hip-hop, foundational Black Americans. That is who did it. And we should celebrate them. And we should thank them. And hip-hop is alive and well. Hip-hop is ruling the world right now. And we cannot deny that, no more than we can deny whose young, gifted, and Black minds came together and presented it to the world.